Alrighty, friends, welcome back. Let me check and make sure all the volumes and everything look to be okay for us here as we look back at over here. Bye bye, February. Thank God. Thank God February's gone. Two times in February, I got extremely sick. In fact, you can probably hear it in my voice right now. I'm just getting over being sick again. I went back to work today and filled out my timesheet from February. I missed like 6 days when I was sick in February. February sucked. February, the month, I always have hated February. It's the worst month of the year. I don't like February. I will never like February. In fact, I know 100% accurate I will be dying. When I die, I will probably die in February. So whenever February comes up, I always worry and I always get sick and always bad things happen. I hate February. Oh, it's terrible. So twice I was sick. I was out of commission for 3 or 4 days. I've been out of commission for 3 or 4 days. And I'm back finally. It's March 1st, so we have to do this. I can't wait because if I wait, I just don't know if I'm going to do this video or not. And I'm going to continue to make these at the beginning of each month. And we're going to talk about what happens. Bleacher Bum Gaming. He's in the house. He wants to see if Glory Days Boxing is one sports game of the month again, like it did in January. It's in the running because we played it in February. In fact, we played a whole bunch of games. We played 59 total games so far in 2023. Yes, we have. We also, including that, we have played 21 different games in February. We had a total of 8 brand new titles. First time ever that we've had these games on the channel. Marvel United, Blackout Hong Kong, Main Event Boxing, Great Western Trails, History Maker Golf, Stroganoff, Banish the Snakes, and Relic were all brand new to the channel, never before on the channel. Excuse me. Pardon moi. As I mentioned, I'm just getting over the sickness. So 59 different titles so far, 8 brand new titles this month, 21 games in February. It was, like I said, we actually did 49 videos this month on the channel. We actually did some live chats with Tebow, one of our good friends of the channel, great sports simmer. We did a live chat with him. We also did a live chat with Phoenix Knight, a newer YouTuber out there, just getting started, getting into wargaming, trying to help him along the right path. We did a live interview with him to kind of introduce him to you guys. We did some live unboxings of different things we got in. What else did we do? It was a lot of stuff. Only 28 days in February, we got 49 videos. That's 1.67 videos per day. You can't go wrong with that. Unless you make crappy videos, I guess. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I just make crappy videos. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's see. We got the 8 brand new titles. What else do we need to know? All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go. This is going to be starting a new thing when we do our month review. I'm just going to go game by game and just talk about it for like 30 seconds to a minute, each of the different games. And kind of just introduce them to you guys, because if you didn't watch them, you might want to go back and watch what we did. So, we started off, I do have to make this a little bigger. All right. So, we have to scroll all the way down. We started the month off with a game called Gloom of Killforth. And that's kind of a adventure, build your own story kind of thing. It's got great artwork. The components are really nice, But man, oh man, I did not enjoy playing this game at all. It has two of the worst mechanics that I think are in gaming, and this game uses two of them. One of them is basically allows you to do so many actions based upon the amount of life that your hero has. So every time your hero takes damage, it does less and less and less and less. So, hey MV, what's going on? Good to see you. So I hate that mechanic. You should not be tying how much your characters do to how much life they have, which I really, really hate that mechanic. And the other mechanic is what I call the hidden search key, right? You're searching for a hidden key, and the game might go really good because you might find this hidden key, or the game might go really bad because you don't find the hidden key. In this game, Guma Killforth, it uses that mechanic, and I wasn't getting the keys, and it was not fun. It was not fun at all. I'm not a big fan. Anyways, moving on. Excuse me, apologize. Woo. Again, I'm just getting over being sick, but it's March 1st. Every first of the month, we will be doing these videos all year. And then once we go through all the games we played, we're going to go through. We got our different categories again for you guys. We have our sports game of the month. We got our war game of the month. We got our board game of the month. We have our best new game. These are games that we have never played before on the channel. And then, of course, game of the month. So we'll get to those as soon as we go through our all the games we played. Next on the list of what we played, of course, we're going to be playing this probably every month from now until we're dead, right? They put us in the casket. The wife is going to take my extra Dominion boxes and probably throw them in there with me because that's what I'm probably going to be buried with. It's going to be Dominion. I would probably play this all the time if I had the chance, but I have to play other things just for the channel. Dwayne Martz, good to see you, my friend. So Dominion, I've talked about it a million times. It's a great deck building, engine building game. It has 15 expansions. The amount of variability in this game, you can take literally every different combination. If you had a grain of sand and you were to take it to the edge of the Grand Canyon and drop it in, you could drop it in and fill up the Grand Canyon 15 different times for the amount of different combinations there are in Dominion. So if you want variability, look no farther, my friends. All right, after Dominion, what do we play next? We played a brand new game to the channel. First time ever, Marvel United. Yes, Marvel United. First time on the channel. Picked it up. Got it really cheap on, was it Noble Knight? I got it for like $9 or something. Got the box in, and somebody had painted the miniatures, and they look awesome. So I'm like, I got to play this. And it turns out Marvel United's a really good game. Really good game. Just the base game is really good. But I mean, there's a whole bunch of expansions that just add more characters, more locations, more things to do in the game, different rules, adds in team play, adds in cooperative play. I mean, you can literally, I think they're still doing Kickstarters for this game and just adding things to it. I mean, it's just exploding. So it's a fun little game. It plays great solo. You get 3 characters, I think. Was it 3 or 4 characters we got to play with? I think it's either, I'm trying to remember, it was 3 characters. We played it twice. I had a really good time, actually. The setup is variable every time. So it always gives you a new game because you get different locations out there. There's different enemies that you're going to be fighting against. Each of them do different things. And it's a great little fun game. It's a great intro for non-gamers. You can sit down and teach somebody this game in like 5 minutes and they'll probably have fun and maybe they'll get into gaming. All right, what else do we play this month? We played another brand new game to the channel. Let's see if I can find this one here. There it is. It is Blackout Hong Kong. This is kind of an interesting game where you have taken over. You're trying to help turn the lights back on in Hong Kong after a big power outage, and you're using your characters. It's kind of a little deck manipulation, resources with the cards that allow you to get other cards that you're going to put into your deck, but the cards you use are out of your deck. So it's not deck building, it's kind of deck manipulation. And there's also the board of Hong Kong. You're trying to manipulate your characters on that and take over different locations. Very nice game. I had a lot of fun with it. It's not very expensive. The art isn't great on it. It's kind of generic, as you can tell by the kind of the box. Everything's just kind of black and white and gray with a little color on a couple of the characters. But I mean, the gameplay's solid and the strategy is solid. And there's a lot of strategy because, like I said, you have to think about the cards you're going to be adding to the turn. And those cards are going to then go away. And you won't be able to use them until you get them all back. And then when you get them back, then you'll have them. But you only get them back under certain situations. So sometimes you don't want the situation until you can get a whole bunch of cards back. So there is some adjustment and kind of manipulating how your deck works, and it's a great fun game. Greetings from UK. Thank you for coming out tonight. We appreciate it. Don't forget, guys, at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in 2 hours from now, we'll be having a live stream with theplayersaid.com on the War Room show coming up at 8:00 tonight. That's why I'm trying to get this done now, so I can get this done and out of the way and get ready for the Player's Aid to come on the show. All right, so that was Blackout Hong Kong. I forgot I had something in the oven. I got to run over there and grab it real quick. Everyone, get you something to drink. I'll be right back. As promised, I'm right back. All right. So, what do we have to play after Blackout Hong Kong? We did Sentinels of the Multiverse. Boom. Show up. There we go. So we played Sentinels of the Multiverse. Wanted to try that out. We played a scenario with some of the new Definitive Edition heroes. Great game. You're running 4 different heroes. It's kind of a boss battler. The 4 heroes are trying to defeat the enemy boss. You got to get through all of his enemies and do all the things that you need to do to jump through the hoops and build up your guys and get ready to fight. It's a great little fun game. One of my top 10 games of all time. Had a great time. In fact, you're going to see that later on here. We also did Main Event Boxing, which is the first time we've had this on the channel. Just picked this up off of Downey Games. I got like 4 or 5 of their different games. I wanted to try the Main Event Boxing game and try it out and see how we did. And it was pretty good. And then, of course, we also had the Glory Days Boxing coming back to the channel again this month. And Glory Days Boxing, of course, another great boxing game sim by a good friend of the channel, Bleacher Bum Gaming. It was January's sports game of the month. It was that good. It was the first time I ever played it. Picked it up in January and finally decided to play it after it's been out for a couple years. I'm not really a boxing guy, but it kind of made me into a boxing guy because now, like, literally I own like 6 boxing games. I don't know why, but Glory Days Boxing, it's great. It's fun. It's interesting. It plays quick. And yeah, I had a really good time with it as usual. In fact, it's in the running for Sports Game of the Month again. Is it going to make it? We'll see in a minute. Ooh, baby. All right, Glory Days. What's after Glory Days? We had Deep Drive Baseball. Now, of course, they don't even have a logo for some reason. The only logo they have is a picture of Tom Seaver's card. Why don't they have their own logo? I don't know. I was recommended by this. I picked up Deep Drive Baseball way back when it first came out. I introduced it to half the people on my channel when it wasn't even a thing. And I kind of fell out of love with Deep Drive Baseball. And recently people were like, hey, you should try it because now they updated it to like version 3 and it fixes all the problems you had with it. So I picked it up again and tried it. And guess what? Not a big fan. Still not a big fan. I don't know why. I mean, it's probably a good fun game. I don't know. I just don't get it. Yeah. No. Too many too many things, too many issues that I have with it. So I just put it away again. Unfortunately. Excuse me, good Lord. All right, then we get Sentinels of the Multiverse with the Cauldron expansion. So if you guys don't know, the original Sentinels of the Multiverse, there was a fan-made super expansion called the Cauldron. Adds like 40 new bosses, 40 new heroes, 25 new locations. Huge expansion. You can pick it up at drive-through cards. I did. It's expensive. Like $170 for all the cards. But I mean, you're getting a ton of stuff. So I did that. And I bought it all. And I never used it. So I said, I spent all this money on it. Damn it. I'm going back and I'm going to start playing it. So we played a couple Sentinels of the Multiverse with some of the Cauldron expansions. And it was a great time because the Cauldron stuff adds in new stuff. And man, oh man, those enemy bosses. If you thought Sentinels of the Multiverse was too easy, go play some of the Cauldron stuff. Oh my God, those games are not even fair. And of course, the camera wants to be a jerk today. Hello, Mr. Camera. Thank you. So when you add in those the Cauldron expansions, man, oh man, the boss we were fighting was not. I literally stopped halfway through the game and called it because we weren't gonna win. It was a definite we weren't gonna win, and I was thinking we were doing something wrong. The boss was so tough. It's rough. It's rough. Yeah, even Tim. I think Tim was watching. He watched me sweating it out, and man, it was rough. Then we moved on from that into Great Western Trail, another new game on the channel. And this is a classic. It's now, this is the 2nd edition. They also have a new Great Western Trails called Argentina that had come out. It's basically moving your cowboy along the Great Western Trail, stopping at different places to upgrade your herd of cattle. So when you arrive at Kansas City to ship your cattle out, you have the best amount of cattle you can give them. And it doesn't sound like, oh, you just move your dude along the trail. But, you know, depending on how far you move and how fast you go down the trail, how many locations you skip over, you can get to Kansas City quicker, how you manipulate the cards in your hands. There's a little deck building. There's also some resource management where you're getting some different characters to put on your board. More characters gives you more power to do things. There's a lot of strategy involved in it. It is theme wise, I'm not really a cattle rustler, right? I mean, just not really. That theme just doesn't spark my interest. But because this game is rated so highly and so many people play it and think so highly of it, I said, I'll give it a shot. And tell you what, theme be damned. It's a great game. Then we went from a very high to a very low. Not impressed. History Maker Golf. Not impressed. It's just something to do with the play.com. Number one, I hate the rule books. I absolutely hate their rule books. They have been in business long enough that they should have decent rule books to teach people how to play their game. People, after my tirade, I went on a 45-minute to an hour tirade. You know that's what I'm known for. Here on the channel. And I went on a tirade about History Maker Golf and how crappy the rule book is and how dumb and how, if you're trying to get people how to play your game and people, I got in and I played it fine and I didn't have any problems. I don't know what your problem is, Jester, blah, blah, blah. Great. Good for you. The problem is they should have a rule book that allows everyone. If you were able to do it, that's good. That's great. I'm glad. I've had people post like 10 different people about, I've watched Earl play and he taught me how to play it. And great. I could, if I wanted to, spend all that time going and watching videos and reading through the rule book 16 times and forcing myself to learn it. But I shouldn't freaking have to. That's my point, people. That's my point. Okay, my point isn't History Maker Golf is a bad game. All right, my point is I don't know how good or bad the game is because the game wouldn't teach me how to play the game. It is a block of text. The rule book, if you open it up, is nothing but text. You've been in business for I don't know how many years, 1999, right? So that's 24 years. You need to have a better rule book for everyone out there. Not people that are going to go watch Earl play 16 times so they can learn how to play it. And people that are going to try and sit down and read your rule book 65 times. It was literally, and I'm not kidding you, you can ask Tim in the chat. You can literally see when I go to play the very first hole we had a question about. Very first fucking hole. Couldn't find it in the rule book. Couldn't find the answer anyways. Fuck it. It's out. It's gone. Worst game of the month. Congratulations, History Maker Golf. You suck. Stroganoff. Here you go. Fun, interesting game. You're basically going through the steps of Russia. Great artwork, good mechanics, kind of a racing. You're moving along your little character, trying to get to the right locations to get the right furs so you can trade those in. And then upgrade and buy things that will do other things. It's a lot of resources and a lot of management. AI is kind of dumb and it does certain things and then it doesn't do certain things and it's kind of random. I think it's a great game with an asterisk, not solo. And that's what we were playing it as. I don't like the solo module. I think the solo module stinks. I would not play it again solo. That's why I got it. So the game's going to probably leave the collection. I think it would be great multiplayer, or if you're going to play the game, do not use the stupid solo. Just play it two-handed. Just play two-handed. Play both sides equally yourself. You'd have a lot better time. We struggled with the AI. And again, these goddamn designers and manufacturers need to put a little fucking effort into their goddamn AIs. Do not just throw it together at the last minute and give it to us and expect us to fix it for you. We're not your lackeys to do that. Your game is only good with what you put out. Don't expect someone in BGG to fix your goddamn game for you. So this one, probably out of the collection. Probably a good multiplayer game. If you got a friend, you got a group, probably a great game to play with. Again, play it solo, play it two-handed. Do not run the stupid AI bot. It's terrible. It's awful. Not worth your time. All the pain and suffering that I did is probably going to help you guys in the long run. Let's see. I'm going to check up on the chat here. Did you like the Breakfast trait for the Boxer? I don't remember that one, Bleacher Bums. Don't remember the Breakfast trait. I had a lot of fun with it, and we're going to get to Sports Game of the Month coming up because we're almost at the end here of our games we played in February. It is, and I don't like how this moves along. We have Banish the Snakes. Brand new game to the channel, released by GMT this month. You can watch my playthrough on my channel. You can go watch Tony from Tony's Board Life play it. He had a great time playing it. He enjoyed it 110%. He gives it 2 thumbs up. My did not have a great experience with it. I'm giving it a thumb up and a thumb down. Some of the mechanics I enjoy in the game. Other mechanics I'm not a big fan of in the game. I think they could have done it better. I think it shows inexperience on the designer's part. It's a solid, good game. You're not going to find too many games on Saints in Ireland. Oh, that was my History Maker golf rant. That's right. The breakfast trait. That's right. Now I know what he's talking about. The breakfast. Did he have breakfast in the morning? Let me see if the golfer's had breakfast in the morning. Does he drive a red car? Drives me crazy. Anyways, Banish the Snakes. Great artwork. The dice, there's something wrong with this broken dice. I'm telling you. Where's my die? It's in here somewhere. Or I might have thrown it away. The die they sent me was broken. We literally, of 16 times we rolled it, 12 times we rolled a 1. 12 of the 16 it rolled a 1. We have a broken die. There's something wrong with it. Tony swears up and down his die was fine. There was something wrong with our die. But besides that, some of the mechanics in the game force how the game is going to come out, whether you like it or not. And there's some randomness on where you're going to be shuffling cards into the deck. And again, it can be a very 1 in a trillion chance, but if you got 6 cards and you shuffle them into a deck, there is a chance that those 6 cards could end up on the very bottom of the deck and you might never see them when you need them. Very slim chance, but it could happen, right? It could happen. When you're always doing the randomness, right? You're always taking that chance into consideration. And we had that with my playthrough. You can see I had some of these cards. It was halfway through the game before I got any of them. And other cards came right away. And your game, like if Tony played it, his came out differently. And I don't like that. You have to have a mechanic in the game to keep it fair and equal when the game is working against you. When the game is specifically designed to work against the player, you can't have it a 9.9 against one player and a 2.3 difficulty against a different player. It's not right. It's just random. The game is just random then. It doesn't matter what the player does because I can get a super high difficult 9.9 based upon the random amount of cards that I get out of the random deck. And depending on how they come out, right? Could be very good or it could be super bad. And if it's super bad, you have no chance of winning. 0. Good night, Irene. That's not good game design by my standards. All right. Soon to be sold as a die is found. Yes. Put it in the water. It needs to. We need to have a special episode where I don't know what we do with the die. We'll have to take it and bury it at the beach or something in Sarasota. And it's the lucky die, right? It's the lucky clover, right? And we'll put a little note on there that if this die was ever found, it'll be like a little treasure hunt. Oh, yeah. We'll make it like a little treasure hunt. If someone ever finds the die, to contact us, and they're going to win a prize or something. I don't know. We'll do something. All right. What else? We had a couple more games that were done. I think. Let's see. Oops. I don't think I actually added this one in. Let me add it. So hopefully I got the... Yes, I think I saw it. Yes, I did. There it goes. All right. There we go. We played Relic. Then I got sick, so we never finished Relic. This is as you can see on the box cover, this is based on Talisman. And let me tell you, folks, this is why I love Dominion. Is my number one game of all time. I admit it, right? It's because the original is always the best. When you take a game and try to make a better game out of it by adding things to it, doesn't make it a better game. Too many games have tried to make deck building something it's not meant to be, right? Relic is fine, but they've taken the Talisman mechanic and they've warped it into being something it wasn't really designed to be, and it's not as fun. And that's why you can pick up Relic for like $12, right? You can get Relic for like $12. And there's a lot of game, and you can play with 10 different characters. They got these fancy little statue miniatures in there. You can paint them all up and look super cool. You can get it for like $10, $12 because nobody wants it. Nobody plays it because it's just not as fun as the original for me. I don't know any of the Warhammer stuff, so I can't really, comment on how accurate it is. But it's just, it adds all these mechanics in that it doesn't need to do. And it tries to make it something, adding mechanics, adding difficulty, adding all this stuff when a turn should be fun. And it's not fun in this game. Probably going to try and sell this game as well. Just didn't have a really good time with it. Now I see why it's $12. But again, I picked up Marvel United for like $12. And that's a great game. So it's a crapshoot. It is a crapshoot. And Relic, again, might be a great game for you. You might love it. You might enjoy it. It might be your favorite game of all time, right? Some people love Gloom of Kilforth. It's their favorite game of all time. If you go watch Kanji, Cange, if I think that's how it's pronounced. If you go watch his channel, it's his favorite game of all time. And that's what inspired me to try it. Because he's like, talks about it all the time. He plays it all the time. I'm like, I got to try this game. And I tried it. And I'm like, terrible. Worst game ever. And then last but not least, for February, and for some reason, I guess I never finished my job here. But I need to get... we'll just use this one. That's fine. Get rid of this. Thank you very much. We played Tank Duel, North Africa. I was extremely sick when we played. We had a huge argument about some of the rules while I played because I wasn't feeling good. And I went off the deep end for probably no reason, just because I was sick. I had a 101 degree temperature. As soon as this game ended, I went right to bed, and for the last 3 or 4 days, I've still been sick. You can still hear my, still recovering. But Tank Duel expansion, North Africa, it was a great time. We had a good time. playing it, and it was fun. You just sit around with your friends, you go through the scenarios, you shoot at their tanks and blow them up, they blow you up. As long as everyone understands the rules going in and the rules are clear and concise, everyone will have a great time. That's all I'll say. So let's make sure you understand the rules going in and everyone knows what they are. You'll have a great time. Harold, what is going on? Stephen Reynolds, Daniel Silverthorne, good to see you guys. Everyone, thanks for coming on. I do appreciate it. Don't forget, 8 o'clock tonight, theplayersaid.com here on the channel with the War Room. You're going to see Tony. You're going to see Ruff. You're going to see Alexander. And you're going to see Grant all here with me. Can you imagine that? It's going to be crazy time. 8 o'clock tonight. That's why I'm trying to get this done. Now, let's get to the awards for February, shall we? Sports Game of the Month. In January, it was Glory Days Boxing. Very nice. It was a great game. And this month, we only had a couple to choose from. 4 different games. We only played 4 sports games. Again, I was sick. I was sick twice in February. I hate February. If you just joined us, you probably didn't know this, but I hate February. It's the worst month of the year. It's the worst month of the year. I hate February. There's nothing good going on in February, except for maybe Daytona 500. So we did watch that. So that was probably the one and only good thing in February. But I was sick. Like I said, I went to work today. First time back to work since being sick. And I filled out my timesheet for February, and I was like 6 days. 3 last week, 3 the week before, or it was actually like the 7th through the 11th or whatever it was. I don't know. So I was sick twice in February. We still got 20, how many different games did we get in February? A bunch. We got 59 different games played in 2023 so far, if you're just joining us. We have 8 brand new titles. 8 brand new titles. And we had played 21 different games in February. All right, so let's talk about the awards. Again, Sports Game of the Month. We only played Main Event Boxing a couple times. We played Glory Days Boxing a couple times. We played Deep Drive Baseball. We played History Maker Golf. You know what I think of History Maker Golf? You know I wasn't a big fan of Deep Drive Baseball. It means it's either Glory Days Boxing or Main Event Boxing. Who do you think won? Anyone? Yes, Glory Days Boxing wins again. 2 months in a row. It's going for a sweep. It's going for the three-peat next month. If we play it, we have to play it in March, right? It's going for the sweep. Yes, Glory Days Boxing wins it again. Back-to-back months. It's going for the three-peat next month. We're going to have to try and get it on the channel again just to make sure. But, hopefully it'll get some better competition. I thought I was going to get some better competition, but History Maker Golf, Deep Drive Baseball. So it was only up to Main Event Boxing. And while Main Event Boxing is a good game, it's not up to Glory Days Boxing. Let's be honest, my friends. Glory Days Boxing wins February by default, just by being there. Glory Days Boxing, great game. Can't go wrong. Back-to-back winners. Holy crap. Here we go. War Game of the Month. We only played 2 war games. So again, a lot of this is bad because I was sick, especially at the end of the month. At the end of the month, I usually try to get 5 or 6 games in to kind of even things out. But I was on my deathbed since Sunday night. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It is Wednesday night. I'm finally able to do something. It's been 4 days. Haven't been able to do anything. You go back and look at my channel. I've done no videos. This is the first video since Sunday. So I didn't get a chance to do this. So again, not a big amount of war games this month on the channel. But we don't do that many different war games in total anyways, because they take a lot of time. But the winner is dun dun dun, Tank Duel North Africa expansion. Great game. Tank Duel, again, you're just sitting around having a good time with your buddies. If you got a game group, 6 of you, 8 of you, 5 of you, 4 of you, You grab a couple tanks and you just play a few cards. You're shooting at one another. You're blowing stuff up. You're having a good time, laughing, teasing one another, telling them how bad they are when you blow up their tank, then telling them how lucky they are when they blow you up. It's just a good old fun party type game. Nothing too serious. There's some pretty good, interesting scenarios. Again, just make sure you understand all the rules going in. It's a great little game, and I think it's highly, highly recommended. People love this game, and I think it's definitely not a solo, and it's not a 2-player. 3 is probably a little iffy. You're going to need 4 to 8 players. And if you have the expansion, North African expansion, you could probably take 6 people on a side if you wanted to. It would go crazy. But it was a great, fun game. Oh, and speaking of, Mike Butterjelly's in the chat right now, looking to see if his game won Game of the Year. Or Game of the Month. And yes, it did, Mike. Yes, it did. It won. Are you happy? Bleacher Bums Gaming, designer of Glory Days Boxing, is in the chat, and it won Sports Game of the Month. And Mike Butterjelly, designer of War Game of the Month, Tank Duel Expansion, North Africa. Wow. Woo! How did you... I mean, let's see. Let's see if we can go 3 for 3. Board Game of the Month. Board Game of the Month. Now, this is, of course... We're the crossover gamer. We do sports games, we do war games, we do regular board games, we do them all on the channel. We're about a 60-20-20 split. We do 60% board games, 20% war games, 20% sports games. That's what we do. I enjoy the board gaming, but I like spreading my wings and playing some of the other games and trying out different things. So there's a lot more choice here for Board Game of the Month, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We had 10 different offerings to choose from. And our choice for Board Game of the Month, let's see if he's in the chat. The designer, dun, 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 Great Western Trails, Alexander. Yes. Is he in the chat? Is he in the chat? No, he's not in the chat. Of course he's not in the chat. Why isn't he in the chat? The other guys are in the chat. Why isn't he in the chat? Oh my God, he thinks he's too big for my channel or something. I don't know. Great Western Trail. I talked about it when we went through our February list. I'm not a cattle herder. It doesn't really interest me, that whole riding horses and going around and rustling some cattle and doing all that stuff. Doesn't sound like a great time, but it is a solid, super solid, great old time. It is a lot of fun. There's a lot of strategy involved. If you want theme in your game, you might not enjoy it. But if you are looking for a strategy game that puts you in the seat, the AI is really good. It's really fun. It'll do things to mess you up constantly, which is what the AI is supposed to do, trying to make it your life difficult. And it puts a pretty good challenge on you. And the adjustable difficulty is very easy to do. Again, you might not like the theme, you might not like the game, but if you can look past the theme, there's a lot of deck building management, resource management. There's a lot of really good things. Let's move on. We got 2 more and then we can get out of here and I can get prepared for our 8 o'clock episode with the War Room and the Player's Aid, 8 o'clock right here on the channel. All right, we're doing best new game of the month. Again, every month we're going to go through any brand new games to the channel. We have 8 of them. This Marvel United, Blackout Hong Kong, Main Event Boxing, Great Western Trail, History Maker Golf, Stroganoff, Banish the Snakes, and Relic were all brand new, first time on the channel at all, new. So one of those 8 games are going to be best new game of the month. But there's a caveat to that. If you won sports game of the month, you win war game of the month, or you win board game of the month, you cannot also win best new game of the month. So the winner for February is Marvel United. Marvel United wins Best New Game of the Month. Again, I picked this up for like $12 off of Noble Knight, thinking, all right, it's $12. Sure, I'll buy it and try it out. Great little fun strategy game. It's not really in depth. It's not too complex. It doesn't take itself too serious, as you can see by the looks of the characters. But there is, tons and tons of expansions to get into. It's probably going to have every one of your different heroes. And you're just having a good old time. The solo plays just fine. We played it twice and had a great time playing it both times. The base game comes with like 6 different heroes and 4 villains, somewhere around that amount. It gives you quite a variety and variability on that. I'm not sure if there's 6 or 8 different. Well, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 little dudes on the count or on the thing. So maybe there's 6 and 2 bosses. I know Red Skull is a boss. No, Ultron's a boss. What's his face over there is a boss as well. So there's at least 3 bosses. I don't know. You'll have to look it up. Just look it up. If you're interested, go check it out. So there you go. Best New Game of the Month. And it beat out Blackout Hong Kong. Very good game. Main Events Boxing. Very nice game. Stroganoff. Not bad. Bandits of Snakes. Not bad. Some of the other ones, not so great. Now, here we go. Game of the Month. Now, Game of the Month can be won by anyone. If you've won any of the different categories, you can still win Game of the Month. It's Game of the Month. In January, it was Dominion. It would probably be Dominion every month if I honestly took this to be the game that I played the most or enjoyed the most. But I decided to not give Dominion it every single month because that's just not fair to the rest of the games in the world, right? There's probably other games people might like to see as Game of the Month. So this month, it's going to be, dun 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 dun, is it going to be something? It's Great Western Trail as Game of the Month, believe it or not. Yes, of all the games that I played this month, the biggest surprise for me and the best time I had, which was maybe caused because after I played Great Western Trail, I then played History Maker Golf and had the worst time in the month playing that game. So maybe that's why this game feels so good, right? It's like, you're dating the super hot girl, right? And then you go to the next girl and she's not as good, right? So it makes the first girl look really, really good. You're like, damn, this one is awful. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Makes the other one look like that's why I'm married, right? All right. So there you go. Game of the Month, Great Western Trail. I've talked about it a few times. It's one Board Game of the Month, and now it's one Game of the Month. Congratulations, Great Western Trail. Alexander, who couldn't come to my live stream, right? Like all the other designers for the games, winners of the Sports Game of the Month and War Game of the Month. Alexander is too good to show up, I guess. But there you go. That's a look at February. We did a lot of other good things. We did, let me get rid of this text. I don't know why this text is popping up because that's crazy. Nothing should be highlighted. It's this stupid. Yeah, it was, like I said, I was sick. I'm still sick. It was an up and down February. I had 3 games that I really, really hated playing and did not have any fun. And I had some games that completely surprised me with how good they were. And then I had some games that I thought were going to be awesome and didn't turn out so good. And that's usually, if you go back and watch January, that's what happened in January as well. It's if you play 20 to 30 games, right, and 10 to 15 of these you've never played before. I'm thinking you're gonna like half of them. You're gonna think of the other half. You're gonna think 25% of these are okay, and then the other 25% are gonna be awful, and you're gonna hate those. And that's about what it was in January. I think there wasn't much of a difference. We didn't get as many games played because it's a shorter month, and because I was sick twice. And again, we're not trying to go for quantity, we're going for quality, right? We're trying to play a game once, twice, 3 times the lady, just to, try it, and not just try it and put it away and try it and put it away. We're trying to, keep a game out and play it for a little while. And I would have liked to play Banished. My goal, honestly, at the end of February, again, Sunday, going into Sunday, my goal was I had 3 days left in the month. And I was going to go back and play some of these games that I was not a big fan of and just try them out again just to see, right? Was it me? Was it the situation? Maybe I was sick. I wasn't feeling good. When you don't feel good, everything sucks. Everything's bad. Nothing tastes right, And so I thought, well, maybe, I'll try Banish the Snakes again, give it another try. I will try maybe History Maker Golf again, try that and see if that's any better. Try to finish up our Relic game that I wasn't too enthused about playing. Try a few different things at the end of the month just to try and give these games one more shot before I say, oh, they're horrible, they're terrible, blah, blah, blah. But being sick, axed all that. So that's just the way it is. 4 days. I'm sweating bullets. I'm probably still 70 to 80%. So we're not going to be a trooper tonight because in an hour and a half, we're going to have the player's aid on here. Anyways, there you go. That is our look at February. Now, there was going to be some announcements about what we're going to be doing going forward. I think what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a monthly player subscribers game night where you guys pick a game and we play it. You guys vote on it, stuff like that. We're probably going to be using my Discord for that, but I don't have that information ready to go yet. So look for a video on that sometime coming up, and maybe we'll start that starting in March or starting in April, I guess, maybe. Also, right, coming up, right, I've been saying this for 8 months. The countdown was March. The countdown was March of 2023. Our top 100 games of all time. It's now March. Unbelievable. It is freaking here. And you know what that means? That means that's a lot of time and effort to put that list together of the top 100 games of all time. And you know what that means? Not as much playing. So, yeah, March is going to be a different beast because I am going to start that. And it's going to be probably going to take several months to get all that stuff out and done and downloaded and ready to go for you guys. Top 100 games of all time. It's coming soon on the channel. Holy crap, I can't even believe it's here. It's March. I forgot. It's March. I've been saying, oh, wait till March. Even last week I was saying, oh, wait till March. It's now March. Oh, crap. Damn, I forgot. It's March. Now I got to start worrying about this. I got to start getting my list ready. Maybe we'll start it in April. Shh, don't tell anybody. I'll just say I forgot. All right, guys, don't forget, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Player's Aid meets the War Room tonight here on the channel. Come on back at 8. We'll see everybody then. Thanks so much for coming out. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like. Tip your waitresses on the way out the door. And be good to yourselves. And enjoy the games you play. That's the most important thing. If you don't enjoy a game for whatever reason, don't play it. Play something else. There's too many other games to not play something you don't enjoy. If you don't want to spend an hour and a half reading a rule book to try and learn how to play History Maker Golf, don't do it. Take History Maker Golf, throw it in the trash can, and get you a new game. something you do know how to play, or something you can learn in 5 to 10 minutes to play. And it doesn't try to beat you over the head to try and learn their stupid game because they can't write a fucking rule book that's been out for 24 years. So aggravating when designers cannot do that. It's incredibly frustrating. Incredibly frustrating. Oh, don't worry, Jester, I learned how to play the game just fine. Well, that's good for you. It didn't help me one fucking bit. It didn't help me. I'm glad it helped you, but it didn't help me. And this channel is about me. It's not about you. So don't leave your stupid comment that you were able to play History Maker Golf. I'm happy you made it. I'm happy you understand it. I'm glad you watched 80 hours of video on how to play the game. If they would have showed you how to play in the rulebook, I mightn't even be playing the game. But it's not worth my time, trouble, and effort because I got too many other wonderful games to play. See you all next month. Until then, take care, my friends.